So, one of the things that we're going to go through when we are trying to become deployed instead of employed in the world, and deployed meaning that we are going out into the world and we're going to own our own businesses and we're going to become entrepreneurs and independent contractors and whatnot. So one of the things that we have to understand is that there is a process that we go through. One of the first processes is that we will go through being an employee. So the first stage of becoming a business owner, investor, is the first phase is being an employee. When you are an employee, you have the mindset of an employee. So you were thinking that you have to be at a job at a certain time, and you're really upset that they are telling you basically how to live your life based on how much money that they are offering you as far as pay. You also are upset about, management and them grading you on your performance on the job. But that was the reason why you were hired in the first place, is to provide a performance to that job. And that's what you actually committed yourself to. Another thing that happens when you are an employee is that you think about, the times that you're able to take a lunch break and them telling you when you can eat and when you can use the restroom, and if you have to do anything in addition to the time that is allotted for you to go back and forth. It feels like you are just completely restricted and just completely controlled. And the whole outlook of a employee coming off of a job is that they will be free to do whatever it is that they want to do. So once you leave a job or get fired or whatever, and then you have this idea that you want to start your own company, or maybe your company was already in the process while you were planning on leaving the company. The first thing that we have to understand is that we go through from leaving an employee to a mindset of being self-employed. And the mindset of being self-employed means that you're really not disciplined at all. You come off of the job with no understanding that besides the truth that you are free now and you can make your own decisions, there is no understanding that realistically the system that was previously in place for you to be an employee will still have to remain in place in order for you to learn how to discipline yourself for your own company. And a lot of us get into our own businesses and we start doing our own having our own ideas, and some of us make a little bit of money, at first, and we're trying to figure out, okay, well, how can I expand my company and how can I continue to grow and make more money and do this and do that. But we fail to realize that, when we get off the job and we start becoming our own employee, waking up at 10 o'clock in the day and starting to go to work around 1 or 2 is not going to produce a business for you. So the mindset is that you will be self-employed, which means that you're only in a state of mind that says that you are only going to be thinking about how much money you can make and how much you can bring towards your family or your household individually. It is not something where you are expanded to a degree of a business owner. A business owner thinks from a business mindset, which means that, yes, you are going to have to get up at a certain time if you want to include exercising, if you want to include eating breakfast, something as simple as eating breakfast in the morning. You have to be up by a certain time and make sure that you are taking care of all of the most important things at the first 4 hours of your day, because it takes about 4 hours for any person, 3 to 4 hours to actually get dressed, get ready, and prepare to be focused at work. So one of the things that I want to mention is that when you are self-employed, we tend to think because we are now free that it's okay for us to get up when we want to go to bed when we want to. We think that it's okay for us to go wherever we want to go and do whatever we want to do. And what we really focus on is just whether or not we got enough money to do that with. And all that is a false identity, because you really haven't learned anything about becoming a business owner at that point. Only thing you're practicing over and over again is, hey, I'm free. And regardless of how you earn your income, it still boils back down to you're only thinking as an individual, which means that you are thinking as a self-employed person. But the first moment after you start making a consistent pay and you have to be out of work, and you realize that the income does not continue to come in if you are not there, is the first time that you realize that you are really self-employed. Because your business or your company or whatever you thought was a business or your company cannot function without you being there. So no, it's not okay for you to get up when you want to get up. And no, it's not okay for you to go to bed when you want to go to bed. It is not okay for you to go where you want to go and take unnecessary money when you're not even at a place where you can stabilize the income that you previously were making when you were on the job. So being an employee is not a bad position, even though there are many people who have downplayed it to fool people into believing that it is a horrible thing for you to work for someone else. It's not a horrible thing, because see, everybody has to have a position. And even though we all were created to have our own businesses and do and utilize our own gifts in the earth, there is really a lot of people who don't understand that you have to be disciplined in order to be a business owner. And you cannot have a mindset that it's all about you. See, most business owners are very self-centered. They don't really consider the service or the product that they are providing to the world, or that they want to provide to the world. They don't consider that there are other people who will need to work for your company. And how are you going to take care of them? Everything is just all about, how you're going to take care of yourself, how you're going to feed your own family. But when you become a business owner, you don't think about self at all. As a matter of fact, you are obsolete. There is no key person in business ownership and investing. Everything is about multiple people. So if you don't even have a mindset that says, okay, I can step outside of just accepting that I'm free to go throughout the earth and do whatever, give my gift away to the world. If you can't think outside of the fact that you're free and stop being consumed with that, and understand that you're going to have to be on a schedule and you're going to have to produce in order to earn an income. It's all about solving the amount of problems that you want to solve in order for you to be self-employed or to own a business. So what type of system do you have in place for your business to be ran? What is it that you're really doing in order for your company to become a business? And it's not just dependent upon you, and it's not just focused on your name. Is your company your name? Or is it represented by Kingdom, by the actual company that you have named the company? Is it represented by the world and what you can do for the world? Is it represented by the service or the product that you have? Are people even clear about what it is that you do? So we need to go back and realize that when we are just coming off of a job, there are a lot of things that we tend to try to overlook. But being in business for yourself, having an actual company that is not dependent on one person, but multiple people, means that you're going to have to let go of the freedom and understand that you're still going to have responsibility. Because freedom comes with responsibility. And for some reason, we have the mindset that we're just going to be able to freely make money and do absolutely nothing. Well, that depletes the whole purpose of why God has created you. Every person has been created to work, and there is no retirement in God's sight. So that means that there should never be a time in your life ever where you just stop working. You might be stop working from a job, but you should still understand after you come off a job that there is still work that's going to have to be done. There's money that's going to have to be earned, and there are different stages of managing the money that you're going to have to go through. The money that you earn is not just yours. The money that you earn is for the people that you're going to be hiring, for the systems that you're going to have to put in place for the company to be ran. It's going to have to be for investing into new ideas, and so that your company can grow. It's going to have to be managed in so many different ways, and not to mention just the maintenance of the company to stay afloat. So that's why a lot of people don't make it in business, because they are so consumed by their freedom. And they're portraying this role like they got all this time and they can do whatever they want to do. And they're running up credit cards and they can't pay their card notes, and cars are getting repossessed. Houses are being foreclosed on. And this is happening because we have the wrong mindset that as we become self-employed, we don't have no obligations. We don't have any responsibilities. But we actually do have responsibilities. We do have freedom, but we have freedom with responsibility. It's called discipline. And when a person is coming out of an employee's job, however you were as an employee is also going to be based on how you're going to be as a business owner or as a person who is self-employed first. So if you didn't have good skills of being to work on time, if you didn't have good skills of taking your breaks when you were supposed to and coming back when you were supposed to, if you didn't have good skills of showing up at work when you were supposed to work and actually performing the duties of the job, then you're going to have a real problem in business for yourself. Because all of that employee work was just training to see how well you would do for your own company, for your own work. So we really need to begin to focus on how can we change our character? How can we change our understanding? And what kind of things do we really need in place in order to become a business owner and get out of this mindset of, I'm self-employed, and not paying your taxes and hiding from the IRS and doing all this kind of stuff, because that's not a person who is legit. When you hiding and you not paying your taxes and you ain't paid your taxes in umpteen years, but you trying to make all this money. But see, what you don't understand is that everything is ran on a country system. A system of a business is nothing more than a miniature country. And that is how you have to think when you're thinking about being self-employed.